Jenna Matlin here, and I want you to read tarot better. All this week we are doing port card combinations because they tend to be the sticking point for many readers. So today at random I pulled the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands. Now these two in a relationship I have a lot to say about because I think my own personal relationship is very much this dynamic. So here are the strengths between them. They're both loving people. Queen of Wands can be quite affectionate and warm and expressive. And the King of Cups can also be quite affectionate and emotionally expressive. They both are open to receiving that energy from the other, and that is particularly well suited for the both of them. So they can be opposites attract, but in this way they have a lot of similarities, because out of the queens, traditionally Queen of Wands is the most masculine queen, and King of Cups is just the most feminine king. Take that with a grain of salt if you will, but there tends to be a lot more overlap than most people would think between these two. This king, while he values her independence and her go-get-it attitude, she values his nurturing and his softer side. When she's off running the world, she comes back and can lay her head in his lap and feel comforted. And he will feel that he's always got someone to take him along to new adventures, and also would support him in his own. They both tend towards being quite intuitive and tuned in with one another. That's another thing that's very common about them that a lot of people don't know. However, there are, always challenge areas. Sometimes she finds his laid-back nature to be lazy, or just feel like, why do I have to plan everything? Why is the initiative on me all the time? And so he has to work on that. But he may find her assertiveness as too much. Why can't we just relax? Why is it always got to be going and going all the time? So that is an area where they're going to need some work. In terms of communication, she will engage, but often that engagement or that communication will not happen until she is at some kind of breaking point. So she won't say anything until she gets really upset and blows up. And he often won't say anything, but he may manipulate and become codependent instead of being direct. So both of them have a lot of work in terms of being very proactive in the way that they're communicating their needs to one another. This king too, he's highly sensitive. So one areas where he needs to work is to be able to take criticism without going into his little shell and hiding away and shame spiraling it all. That this king can sometimes really need to do some work on accepting feedback without making it like about them as people. And her work is to share her emotional vulnerability with him instead of blowing up, and showing him when she is not feeling great and allowing him to see that softer side of her in a non-volatile way, Miss Queen of Fire. So that is the one thing, is they can be very, very different, but they both, with that intuitive sense and that natural actual affection that they have, is really a strong suit, and they will need to work on the communication. He's going to have to work on handling her directness to him and being able to hear what she has to say without taking it as a direct criticism. She needs to be able to speak her needs before it gets to like level 10 volume where she's upset, and she has to learn to slow down and give him the time he needs to process. That's also a major difference between the two of them. So I hope you had fun with these two, and I will see you tomorrow.